The Fox Virginia News at 10 is next. Tonight's shots fired this weekend in the Rose Hill neighborhood, leaving concerns for resident safety. We have the details. Plus, the new year means talks of New Year's resolutions. We'll give you some insight into what Charlottesville residents have planned.
And any arts opportunity at that age, I just sort of took advantage of, and people pushed me and saw that I had something in me.
And a Charlottesville native dreams came to reality on his talents in Broadway, using his talents to help the community. 10 o'clock time for the Fox Virginia News.
Now, Fox Virginia News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Gretchen Stinger. We'll get to those stories in a moment, but first let's check in with AJ Willie.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
And a good Monday evening. A happy new year to everybody out there at home. Kicking off 2024 with mostly cloudy skies here in central Virginia throughout the day today. Very few, very light sprinkles throughout the evening hours. Now the clouds and the rain really starting to fizzle out across the region. I do expect us to clear up nicely for the rest of the overnight hours. Some sunshine back in the forecast for your Tuesday. For tonight, temperatures are cooling into the 20s and the lower 30s. We're right at 30 for your overnight low in Charlottesville. We are mostly clear by the time we wake up tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies for your Tuesday. Temperatures back just barely above average. We're right around 50 for your high in Charlottesville. Your weather headlines: as the sunshine returns tomorrow, we will see a good amount of that sunshine really for the rest of the work week. Then comes our next frontal system. I'll tell you how that impacts next weekend's forecast. Maybe even a little bit of the wintry stuff. I'll have more details on that here in just a little bit.
Thanks, AJ. Residents in the Rose Hill neighborhood are becoming increasingly concerned about their neighborhood safety. Multiple people have reached out to Fox Virginia regarding alleged crime activity taking place in the area. One woman says her husband was shot at after he heard disruption outside of their home off of Charlton Avenue.
He come out on the sidewalk. This gentleman started up off Charlton and turned around and fired 5 shots straight back towards my husband. He hit a house 3 times, the house that's here behind us.
Other neighbors are concerned there is not enough being done about the situations they have encountered.
It's difficult staying positive about the neighborhood. We know the police are trying to do what they can, but it just seems like a resource issue and really something the city council needs to be taking a look at, and Rose Hill needs to be made a priority.
Charlottesville police told us there were no injuries reported and 5 bullet casings were located on the scene. It's New Year, which means New Year's resolutions. We wanted to hear what Charlottesville is hoping to do to better themselves. Our Fox Virginia Sarah Allen stopped by the downtown mall to ask people what they are focusing on for 2024.
Well, it's officially 2024, and as thousands might be hitting the gym or changing their diets, we wanted to hear what Charlottesville's New Year's resolutions are.
I generally don't like to eat any fruits or vegetables unless it's in something sweet. So I definitely want to try to teach myself to like more fruits and vegetables.
I think trying to be more mindful and just and being more intentional in like the everyday things that I'm doing and saying and the kind of language that I'm using to talk about myself and my goals.
I am going to try something new. I don't know what it is yet, but it'll be something artistic.
It's focused on running, and instead of last year it was like I'm going to run every day, but I can't do that, so I'm going to focus on running like 15 miles a week.
Some girlfriends and I came up with this. I mean, maybe we didn't come up with it, but it's called Damp January.
What are you going to do?
Well, it's 5 days no drinking, and then you have a couple of glasses of wine on the weekend.
I want to learn sign language.
Oh, love, my darling. Love.
Mine is compassion and hope that everybody talks about community, that we now really do it.
So whether your New Year's resolution is to run 15 miles in a week, learn sign language, or to just show more love, we wish you a happy New Year.
Ralph Sampson's American Tap Room hosted their New Year's Day brunch with a twist today. The basketball-themed party gave customers the opportunity to write down their New Year's resolution and dunk them into the popular hoop in the restaurant. Brittany Arrington tells Fox Virginia that they wanted people to remember to just have fun with their resolutions.
The basketball hoops have been a staple here. Everybody that comes in, you always catch them playing with them when they go out. So it's just a nice way to, I guess, let them know, have fun too as they're leaving.
The restaurant tells us they are looking forward to the new year to bring more basketball games to JPJ and cheering on the Who's. One Charlottesville native is taking over the Great Way and giving back to the place he calls home. Fox Virginia's Brenna Kiefner has more on his journey from Albemarle County to Broadway.
Can I hear you say it? We're ready! Are we ready?
Yeah! It all started at Albemarle High School for Kevin Quillen, and he never imagined his dream of being on the stage would lead him to where he is now.
And any arts opportunity at that age, I just sort of took advantage of, and people pushed me and saw that I had something in me.
Kevin hit the ground running when he found out his dream of being on Broadway could become a reality.
People were like, "You're a performer, you should be on Broadway." I was like, "What is Broadway?" It's this mystical place that everyone keeps talking about.
He quickly found out what Broadway was and made his dreams real by starring in productions such as My Fair Lady, Bandstand, and currently in the revival of Sweeney Todd.
And you have to, be on and be able to communicate. All of those things I learned here in Charlottesville.
Now Kevin is helping our community of kids with dreams as big as his to get to where he is. Kevin teaches twice a year at DMR Adventures in the hopes of giving some kids the theater bug.
And to be able to give back to the community and teach the kids and show them that someone from Charlottesville can actually go to New York City and become, an actor on Broadway, which it's just the greatest feeling.
And Kevin teaches students more than just a minute dance combination.
Just confidence building, and the act of getting on stage. A lot of these kids today, this might have been their first time, working with someone like me, and that in itself teaches you how to show up and sink in information like a sponge.
Kevin will continue to support the community that brought him so far in his career and hopes to see some of his students on the stage with him someday.
Hold it, and break. All right, we did it.
In Charlottesville, Brenna Kiefner, Fox Virginia News.
The new year is just kicking off, and so are political races.
The Iowa caucuses are just 2 weeks away. I'm David Spunt with the latest on the race for the White House as this new year kicks off. That's coming up.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
A good Monday evening. We're glad to have you with us for your Weather Authority forecast. Almanac data from today at the Charlottesville-Albemarle Regional Airport for the first day of 2024. Pretty seasonable for what we would typically expect for January 1st. High temperature, only 1 degree below average for this time of year. Lows this morning were about 4 degrees above average for this time of year. Clearly nowhere close to either of those records we set back in 1952 on the high end or in 1900 on the low end. Time lapse from today at the Sentara Martha Jefferson Hospital on Pantops, courtesy of our JS Skyline Network. We were partly to mostly cloudy early in the morning, a little bit of breaks in the clouds there into the early part of the afternoon, but otherwise a mostly cloudy day to kick off our new year. We're still dealing with a few clouds out there currently. I do expect those clouds, though, to fizzle out throughout the rest of the overnight hours. Been dealing with a case of virga throughout most of the afternoon and the evening, too. If you're lucky, you maybe saw a flurry or two, but nothing really impactful across the area. I expect the skies to really clear up through the rest of the overnight hours. Sunshine returning to the forecast for your Tuesday. Speaking of Tuesday, we'll start off mostly in the lower 30s, climbing into the lower to middle 40s through the lunchtime hour. High temperatures making their way right around 50 degrees on Tuesday with mostly sunny skies. For tonight, upper 20s, right around 30 degrees for that low temperature in Charlottesville. We're at 29 for your low in Standardsville, 31 degrees the low in Palmyra, with 30 your low in Orange, 50 for the high on Tuesday, 48 your high temperature on Tuesday in Crozet and Madison, 49 tomorrow, your high in Palmyra. With those mostly sunny skies, that sunshine will be abundant really through most of the week. Just a few clouds here or there by Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. You'll see that here with your futurecast. We are mostly clear by tomorrow morning, mostly sunny skies throughout the day on Tuesday. Just a few clouds here or there by early Wednesday morning. Clouds start to build in by Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, but I don't really expect them to produce a whole lot in terms of rain chances. We are bringing back the sunshine throughout the day on Thursday, but thanks to a wind shift, a little bit cooler by Thursday. Our next chance for rain, you'll see, not until the weekend. I'm looking at Saturday night into Sunday morning, that next decent chance for some rainfall moving through. We're looking at the potential for another decent soaker, maybe an inch or inch and a half, maybe 2 inches in some areas by midday on Sunday. Yes, there are some hints that there could be a little bit of wintry precipitation with this system Saturday night as well. It's too early to really guarantee anything, but it is something on our radar. Your Cardinal Home Center extended forecast, lower 50s tomorrow and Wednesday, middle 40s Thursday and Friday. Then come those rain chances through the weekend.
All right, thank you, AJ. Well, this New Year's Day marks 2 weeks until the 2024 Iowa caucus, the official start to the Republican presidential nominating process. Fox News correspondent David Spunt is in Washington with more on what to expect on the campaign trail as this new year kicks off.
All right. Happy New Year.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis put aside New Year's celebrations to urge supporters to focus on the 2024 presidential race.
Are you ready to work hard over these next 2 weeks so that we win the Iowa caucus?
But DeSantis isn't alone in his New Year's resolution to win over voters. With just 2 weeks to go until the Iowa caucuses, the remaining GOP presidential contenders each have plans to barnstorm the Hawkeye state in the days to come. This weekend, former President Trump is planning a campaign rally in Newton, Iowa. His event on Saturday will also mark 3 years since the 2021 Capitol riot, an event that could impact the former president's current plans to win back his old job. In Maine and Colorado, Mr. Trump has since been removed from the 2024 ballots, pending any appeals. Still, the latest polls show Mr. Trump not only leading the Republican contenders, but also ahead of President Biden among young voters. A new national survey revealing 37% of voters under age 35 support Trump, compared to 33% for Biden. In a New Year's interview, the president touted his administration's economic policies, as his campaign also prepares a final push to win over voters.
So we brought a lot of jobs back to the United States. People are in a position to be able to make a living now.
And it's not only the Iowa caucuses that have the candidates' focus this month. Just over 3 weeks away is the New Hampshire primary. In Washington, David Spunt, Fox News.
Former President Donald Trump's legal team is expected to appeal the decision that removed him from the 2024 primary ballots in Colorado and Maine. That's according to a source familiar with the plans, which could happen as soon as Tuesday. The decision to take Trump off the ballot are based on the 14th Amendment, which says officials who have, quote, engaged in an insurrection are disqualified from holding office. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu is among those who says Trump's removal from the ballots could allow the former president to play the, quote, victim card. Sununu has endorsed South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley in the GOP primary, saying she can, quote, beat him in all 50 states. Well, don't go anywhere. Sports is up next.
The stock market is closed today. Hi, I'm Susan Wilkinson, and on behalf of everyone at Wilkinson Wealth Management, I would like to wish you a happy holiday.
You're watching CBS 19 Sports, winner of the Outstanding Sports Coverage Award from the Virginia Association of Broadcasters.
Well, 2024 is here, and with it comes the potential for more wins, more upsets, records, and you guessed it, national championships. This past year was a whirlwind for UVA athletics. So before we flip our calendars, let's take a look back at 2023 and count down the top 10 moments in UVA sports.
The shot, deflection, it's in. UVA with 2 on the board in the first.
Starting things out strong with an upset coming in at number 10. After not attempting a single shot in the first half, UVA field hockey comes behind a 2-0 deficit to stun number 2 North Carolina. That one snaps a 12-game losing streak to the Tar Heels. And hey, to top it all off, it was their senior day and their 50 years of field hockey celebration. A lot of alumni in the crowd there that day. Number 9, Commonwealth Classic, Palmer Park, game 2 of this series, and for the second straight game, this one went to extra innings. So here we are, bottom of the 8th, runner on first. That one goes off the glove of the infielder. Leah Boggs gonna go for third, goes home, slides, photo finish as she walks it off to win to even the series. An instant classic, that one, and our number 9 in our top 10 plays. Number 8, another comeback story, if you will. Just 3 minutes into the NCAA quarterfinal, Xander Dixon makes his way around the goal here and scores to break the single season goal record. That one, breaking that record set all the way in 1996. So look, what's the comeback, you ask? Well, Dixon went from entering his name in the transfer portal in search of more playing time to notching his name into the UVA history books. Now that is a comeback. Well, on we go. Virginia baseball punches their ticket to the College World Series, and that lands them at the number 7 spot. Cavaliers in this one lost to Duke in the Charlottesville Regional in Game 1, but it was who's in 3 that prevailed as Brian Edgington tossed a complete game and a winner-takes-all finale. That one sent Virginia on that 1,186-mile trip back to Omaha for the 6th time in the last 15 years. Well, and another top 10 moment at the dish. This one off Jake Geloff's bat. That solo shot to left field grandstands for his 38th career home run. That one breaks a UVA all-time home run record and cements him as the Virginia home run king. Almost as impressive as breaking the record, well, he took so little time to do it. Geloff hit 4 home runs as a freshman, 21 as a sophomore. In his final season with the Cavaliers, he hit more than 13 to etch his name into the record book.
You'll keep that one.
Number 5, Virginia takes down Syracuse for a win that counts a lot more than just ACC standings. It's Tony Bennett's 327th win, making him the all-time winningest coach in program history. Bennett surpasses the late Tony Bennett surpasses the late Terry Holland in that ACC matchup, and he's taking that game ball home with him. Well, and who could forget this one? The South's oldest rivalry and Virginia's most thrilling win of the season. Coming in at number 4, an upset for the ages. Virginia knocks off number 10 North Carolina for their first ever program win over a top 10 opponent on the road. It all comes down to this play right here. James Jackson, interception to ice the victory. And look, let's not forget where this team was coming into this game. 1-5 on the season, and here they are upsetting the Heels. Now that is top 10 worthy. Well, and what else is top 10 worthy? Maybe a national championship, but how about back-to-back national championships? Number 3, UVA men's tennis dismantles Ohio State in a 4-0 sweep to claim their 2nd straight NCAA title. That one, their 6th title in the last 11 years, and it was Inaki Montez who clinched the championship for them. Well, only one thing could beat back-to-back NCAA titles, and that is back-to-back NCAA titles. Number 2, Virginia women's swimming with their 3rd straight national championship. Of course, it doesn't hurt when your team is chock full of Olympians like Kate Douglas as well as Gretchen and Alex Walsh, but that all helped the Cavaliers complete the improbable and become the 3rd program ever to win 3 straight NCAA titles. Well, the moment we have been waiting for, number 1 in our countdown, less than a year after The on-ground shooting Mike Hollins there punches in his first touchdown of the season, all on UVA's strong day. Look, we've talked about wins, we've talked about records and national championships in this countdown, but Tony Elliott said it best himself. Mike Hollins playing football is more important than any win. It is a miracle, and that is why he reigns supreme as the top moment of 2023. Well, what a wild year it has been. We're looking for more storybook endings in 2024. That's your look at 2023, and that's your look at sports. More coming up after the break.
At least 1,000 Japanese self-defense force personnel are on the job and 8,500 more are on standby, helping to search, rescue, and clean up from a powerful earthquake in western Japan. Local authorities say Monday's 7.5 magnitude quake is already blamed for killing at least 4 people, while dozens of aftershocks continue to rattle the region. Emily Schmidt has more on the work that is now underway.
On a day the calendar turned to a new year, Western Japan felt the earth move with it. This woman said, "My city is in a terrible situation with fears things could get worse." The earthquake had a depth of about 6 miles, triggering tsunami warnings along the west coast. Eventually, the warnings were canceled as the threat of larger waves passed, though advisories continued for Western Japan, a region unaccustomed to this level of disruption.
People there have felt earthquakes probably over the years, but this is, to my knowledge, the biggest earthquake by far. So people don't have experience with an earthquake this size.
Cameras captured what it looked like, felt like, as the 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit around 4 in the afternoon on a holiday. How people ducked for cover and couldn't quite believe their eyes in the moment. Next challenge, assessing the damage. At least 33,000 homes without power. About 1,400 passengers stranded on bullet trains brought to a standstill. All while roads are damaged, buildings collapsed. U.S. President Joe Biden said in a statement, the U.S. stands ready to provide any necessary assistance to Japan and to its people who have weathered more than 30 aftershocks, with more likely.
I would be concerned about it having significant aftershocks over the coming months or even another year.
A year of potential reminders of what happened this first day of January. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
It's New Year's, which means New Year's resolutions, but let's stick around. Coming up, we'll tell you how to maintain your New Year's resolution for 2024. That's after your weather with AJ.
And now, your CBS 19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
A good Monday evening. We're glad to have you with us for your Weather Authority forecast. Almanac data from today at the Charlottesville-Albemarle Regional Airport for the first day of 2024. Pretty seasonable for what we would typically expect for January 1st. High temperature, only 1 degree below average for this time of year. Lows this morning were about 4 degrees above average for this time of year. Clearly nowhere close to either of those records we set back in 1952 on the high end or in 1900 on the low end. Time lapse from today at the Sentara Martha Jefferson Hospital on Pantops, courtesy of our JS Skyline Network. We were partly to mostly cloudy early in the morning. A little bit of breaks in the clouds there into the early part of the afternoon, but otherwise a mostly cloudy day to kick off our new year. We're still dealing with a few clouds out there currently. I do expect those clouds, though, to fizzle out throughout the rest of the overnight hours. Been dealing with a case of virga throughout most of the afternoon and the evening, too. If you're lucky, you maybe saw a flurry or two, but nothing really impactful across the area. I expect the skies to really clear up through the rest of the overnight hours. Sunshine returning to the forecast for your Tuesday. Speaking of Tuesday, we'll start off mostly in the lower 30s, climbing into the lower to middle 40s through the lunchtime hour. High temperatures making their way right around 50 degrees on Tuesday with mostly sunny skies. For tonight, upper 20s, right around 30 degrees for that low temperature in Charlottesville. We're at 29 for your low in Standardsville, 31 degrees the low in Palmyra, with 30 your low in Orange, 50 for the high on Tuesday, 48 your high temperature on Tuesday in Crozet and Madison, 49 tomorrow, your high in Palmyra. With those mostly sunny skies, that sunshine will be abundant really through most of the week. Just a few clouds here or there by Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening. You'll see that here with your Futurecast. We are mostly clear by tomorrow morning, mostly sunny skies throughout the day on Tuesday. Just a few clouds here or there by early Wednesday morning. Clouds start to build in by Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, but I don't really expect them to produce a whole lot in terms of rain chances. We are bringing back the sunshine throughout the day on Thursday, but thanks to a wind shift, a little bit cooler by Thursday. Our next chance for rain, you'll see, not until the weekend. I'm looking at Saturday night into Sunday morning, that next decent chance for some rainfall moving through. We're looking at the potential for another decent soaker, maybe an inch or inch and a half, maybe 2 inches in some areas by midday on Sunday. Yes, there are some hints that there could be a little bit of wintry precipitation with this system Saturday night as well. It's too early to really guarantee anything, but it is something on our radar. Your Cardinal Home Center extended forecast, lower 50s tomorrow and Wednesday, middle 40s Thursday and Friday. Then come those rain chances through the weekend.
All right, thanks, AJ. It's that time of the year when we set out to make a better version of ourselves, but research shows so many people give up resolutions within weeks, sometimes even days into the year. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has tips on how to make your 2024 resolution stick.
From exercising more to eating better. If you're looking to make a change in the new year, you're not alone, but bad habits can be hard to shift.
Change is not like a light switch. It is a process.
Clinical psychologist Susan Alberts with Cleveland Clinic says the first way to help make resolutions stick is to be specific about our goals.
Our brains love to know the direction that we are going. So instead of saying, I want to exercise more, make a specific goal, such as 20 minutes of walking a day. This is going to make you much more successful in completing this goal.
Albert says to also be realistic. Setting goals that aren't sustainable can make resolutions fall flat.
This is because we tend to set behaviors that are too different from where we are at this very moment. Anticipating obstacles. This is a helpful strategy for continuing resolutions.
Albert says stopping a behavior is harder than starting one. So instead of trying not to eat any more junk food, she says to try setting a goal to eat more fruits and veggies. And finally, link a new behavior to an existing one.
For example, if you drink coffee every morning, but you want to start exercising, link the exercise to drinking the coffee. Have it be the very next behavior that you do.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, with this new year also means exciting new movies to look out for. After the break, we'll show you the insight, what movies to expect. Don't go anywhere. Well, despite the Hollywood strikes of last year, major movies are lined up to arrive in theaters this year. Rick Damgala reports.
Reggae is people music. People coming together.
2024 gets off to a grooving start with Kingsley Ben-Adir starring in Bob Marley, One Love. The biopic rises onto movie screens on Valentine's Day.
If you want to live, you have to trust me.
Also opening on Valentine's Day is Madam Web, starring Dakota Johnson in an origin story about the Marvel Comics heroine.
I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, Duke of Arrakis.
Timothée Chalamet returns to the screen in the second chapter of Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune. Dune Part 2 arrives March 1st.
Being the Dragon Warrior, it's who I am. Skadoosh. What do I know about being a spiritual leader?
Jack Black is back as the voice of Poe when Kung Fu Panda 4 leaps into theaters March 8th. Who you gonna call when a paranormal chill freezes New York City? They're still ready to believe you when Ghostbusters Frozen Empire rolls into theaters March 29th. April 12th sees two Titanic movie monsters teaming up against a new menace as Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire stomps into cinemas.
I'm the director.
We're gonna set this man on fire.
You're a stunt guy. We need to keep it super professional.
Profesh is my middle name.
Ryan Gosling trades in his Ken outfits for stuntman gear when The Fall Guy explodes into theaters May 3rd.
I'm Furiosa!
The darkest of angels.
May 24th marks the beginning of Memorial Day weekend, and Hollywood is looking to fill theaters with a triple threat of major movies. From Furiosa, a Mad Max saga,
You want a little more?
to the animated adventure The Garfield movie,
That is not everything.
and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Hello? Ah! Oh my gosh, I'm anxiety. Where can I put my stuff?
A new emotion.
And just in time for the kids to be out of school, Pixar's Inside Out 2 arrives in theaters June 14th. Ordering an extra large popcorn in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Well, hip-hop legend Snoop Dogg is going to be joining NBC's Universal coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics in the summer. He'll be on hand for prime time programming on both the broadcast network and the Peacock streaming hub. Snoop Dogg may seem like an unlikely candidate for traditional coverage of the Olympics, but NBC is testing new ideas for its primetime hours. Also, the rapper has experience. He joined the comedian Kevin Hart for Olympics commentary on Peacock during the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. An NBC executive says Snoop's past Olympic commentary got tens of millions of views. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. All right, well, that's going to do it for your 10 and 10:30. Happy New Year.